Zang Fu, The Organ Systems of Traditional Chinese Medicine by Jeremy Ross. Chapter 8, Pi and Wei. Wei. Wei is the food system that is traditionally linked with Pi. The association with Pi and Wei is very close, and there is considerable overlap in both physiology and pathology. Some of the basic differences between Wei and Pi are summarized in Table 8.2. Table 8.2. Comparison of Pi and Wei. Wei is yang. Wei is food. Wei is whole. Wei is received food and drink. Wei Qi normally descends. Ascent of Wei Qi results in vomiting. Wei likes damp, dislikes dryness. Wei tends to deficient in and signs of heat. Pi is yin. Pi is zang. Pi is solid. Pi transforms food and drink. Pi Qi normally ascends. Descent of Pi Qi result in diarrhea. Pi likes dryness and dislike damp. Pi tends to deficient yang and signs of cold. In practice, certain aspects of Wei and Pi overlap so closely as to be inseparable. Often points from Pi Jing Rou are used for disharmonies of Wei, and points from Wei Jing Rou for disharmonies of Pi. Functions. Wei is the sea of grains and water, the sea of food and fluid, responsible for receiving and ripening the food and drink. Transformation of food begins in Wei. The purer function goes via Pi to Fei, where it becomes Qi, Xue, and Jingye. The denser, more turbid fraction is sent to Xiaoqiang for further digestion and the separation of pure from impure. Pi and Wei are complementary. Pi governs the upward movement of the purer fractions. Wei, the descent of the less pure fractions. If the descending power of Wei is disturbed, Wei rebels upward with belching, nausea, and vomiting, and with epigastric pain, discomfort, and distension. Patterns of disharmony. Retention of fluid in Wei due to cold. Retention of food in Wei. Deficiency of Wei Yin. Blazing Wei Fire. Where Pi tends to deficiency of yang and therefore tends to be distressed by cold and damp, Wei tends to deficient in and to patterns of dryness and heat. However, though Wei does not show the tendency of Pi to invasion by damp, it does show the tendency to invasion by cold. In other words, Wei may be associated with patterns of deficient yin and heat and with a pattern of deficient yang and cold, depending on the situation. These relationships are summarized in Figure 8.4 below and are further discussed on page 203 and 204. Retention of fluid in Wei due to cold. Signs: coldness and pain in epigastric region, aggravated by cold and alleviated by warmth. Absence of thirst, vomiting after eating, vomiting clear fluid, epigastric sounds, pulse deep and weak, tongue pale with moist or greasy white coat. Pathology. Accumulation of cold in Wei, resulting in stagnation of Qi and thus in pain. Cold may injure Wei Yang, resulting in absence of thirst. Rebellion of Wei Qi upwards may result in vomiting of clear fluid, which is retained in the stomach, due to cold damaging the Wei Yang and Pi Yang needed to transform and to transport the food and drink. The gargling sounds in the epigastric region are due to movement of this retained fluid. The pulse is slow due to cold, and may be weak due to cold affecting Wei Yang and Pi Yang. The tongue is pale due to depression of Wei and Pi function, with a white coat due to cold, which is moist or greasy due to accumulation of fluid in Wei. Treatment. The principle of a treatment is to warm and strengthen the middle jaw to disperse the cold and to transform and transport the fluid. Reinforcing method and moxa are used. For example, in gastroptosis associated with retention of fluid in Wei due to cold, the following points may be used: Chongwang, Ren 12, and Wei Shu, Bladder 21. This combination of Mu and Shu points for Wei can regulate Wei Qi, warm the middle jaw, and disperse the cold. Liangmen, Stomach 21, Zhu Sanli, Stomach 36, regulate Wei Qi and aid gastralgia and vomiting. Chui Hai, Ren 6, combined with Zhongwang, warms and invigorates Qi and Yang, and disperse cold. Retention of food in Wei. Signs: loss of appetite, distension and pain in epigastric region, full belching and sour regurgitation, loose stool or constipation, full stool, slippery pulse, and tongue with thick greasy coat. Pathology. Wei Qi is obstructed and the Wei functions of receiving, storing, and digesting food are impaired, with loss of appetite and distension and pain in the epigastric regions. The retained food may become rotten, so that if Wei Qi rebels, there is belching or regurgitation, which are full and sour respectively. Also, stool becomes full, and the movement of stool may be impaired, with diarrhea or constipation, depending on the situation. The slippery pulse and greasy tongue reflect retention of phlegm and dump. Treatment. The principle of treatment is to invigorate the middle jaw to aid digestion of food and remove retention. Reducing or even methods are used with points such as the following: Xiaowang, Ren 10, enables Wei Qi to go downwards. Changmen, Liver 13, the alarm point of Pi, invigorates Pi to digest food. Zhu Sanli, Stomach 36, dominates ascending of Pi and descending of Wei. Deficient Wei Yin. Signs: lack of appetite, dry mouth and lips, dry vomit, constipation, thin rapid pulse, red tongue with no coat. Pathology. Signs of deficient Yin, for example, constipation, thin rapid pulse, red tongue with no coat, are accompanied by signs of reduced Jingye in Wei, and in the mouth and lips, which are ruled by Pi. Lack of appetite is signs of deficient Wei in Pi. Treatment. The principle of treatment is to nourish Wei Yin, using reinforcing method and no moxa. Points such as Zhu Sanli, Stomach 36, Pi Shu, Bladder 20, and Wei Shu, Bladder 21, may be used to strengthen Wei and Pi functions. And points such as San Yin Jiao, Spleen 6, and Tai Shi, Kidney 3, may be used to strengthen Wei Yin and Yin in general. This pattern may be found in certain conditions of anxiety and weakness, accompanied by such indeficient signs as emaciation, restlessness, nervousness, insomnia, and a sore throat, and by epigastric pain. Blazing Wei Fire. Signs: burning pain in epigastrium, thirst with preference for cold drink, vomiting undigested food or sour fluid. There may be swelling, pain, ulceration, and bleeding of the gums. full breath and constipation. The pulse may be flooding, rapid and slippery, and the tongue red with a dry thick yellow coat. Pathology. The majority of these signs are due to heat. Fire in Wei may blaze upward through Wei jingle to reach the gums, with inflammation and bleeding, and may cause the Wei qi to ascend with vomiting, and may damage Jingye, causing thirst and constipation. The internal heat manifests as a rapid flooding pulse and a red tongue with yellow coat. A slippery pulse and a thick tongue coat may result in the heat is associated with damp. Treatment. 18. Stomach 44 is used to remove heat, excess and pain from Wei. Zhongwang, when 12, is used to regulate rebellious Wei qi, and Taichung, liver 3, is used to pacify Gan and Gan fire, where present. Liangmian, stomach 12, 21, regulates Wei and Pi and is used for epigastric pain, especially when the pain is more lateral. Reducing method is used, as for example in treatment of peptic ulceration associated with blazing Wei fire. Other Wei disharmonies. Some texts mention Father Wei disharmonies. Invasion of Wei by Gan is a progression of depression of Gan qi, and may be closely associated with the pattern of retention of food in Wei above. Hence, the sore regurgitation, a Gan sign. This situation is discussed on page 106, as is the invasion of Pi by Gan. Differentiation as to whether the invasion is predominantly of Wei or of Pi will be according to whether the impairment is predominantly of Wei function of descending, vomiting, and belching, or predominantly of the Pi function of ascending, with diarrhea, borborygmus, and flatulence. Some texts include the category of stagnant shui in Wei with a stabbing, piercing pain, characteristic of stagnant shui in the epigastrium and perhaps radiating around to the back. The pain is aggravated by the touch and by eating, since this is an excess condition. The patient is emaciated with darkish face and may suffer periodic hematemesis and melania. The pulse is choppy and wiry, and the tongue is darkish purple with red dots on the sides, and perhaps a thin yellow coat. This pattern may be associated with heat that causes the blood vessels to rupture, with the coagulated shui obstructing the middle jaw, causing acute pain. The pattern may be present in certain types of acute or periodic perforation of peptic ulcers. Summary. Wei patterns may be of deficiency, for example, deficient Wei Yin, or of excess, for example, blazing Wei fire, retention of food in Wei, stagnant shui in Wei, or of deficiency turning into excess, for example, retention of food in Wei, when this last pattern is precipitated by deficient Wei qi and deficient Pi qi. The pattern of retention of fluid in Wei due to cold may be associated with invasion of Pi by cold and damp, and with an underlying deficiency of Shen, Wei, and Pi Yang. Retention of food in Wei may be associated with depression of Gan qi, with cold, as in retention of fluid in Wei due to cold, or with heat, as in blazing Wei fire. The last pattern may be associated with deficient Wei Yin and deficient Shen Yin, blazing Gan fire, damp heat in Gan and Dan, or with accumulation of damp heat in Pi. Three main Zang Fu involved in these pathological interrelationships are Wei, Pi, and Gan, as discussed on page 204. Table 8.2 Wei patterns of disharmony. Pattern of retention of fluid in Wei due to cold. The signs are coldness and pain in epigastrium, aggravated by cold, vomiting clear fluid. Pulse are slow and weak. Tongue are moist or greasy white coat. Patterns of retention of food in Wei. The signs are distension and pain in epigastrium, sore regurgitation, fall belching. Pulse is slippery. Tongue is thick greasy coat. Pattern of deficient Wei Yin. Signs are dry mouth and lips, dry vomit, malar flush, restlessness, anxiety, insomnia. Pulse are thin and rapid. Tongue are red and no coat. Patterns of blazing Wei Fire. Signs are burning pain in epigastrium, thirst for cold drink, swollen, painful gums, full breath, constipation. Pulse are flooding and fast. Tongue are red with thick dry yellow coat.